What do you need to know for your upcoming trip? Hi, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Mia, here on A Moment Tarot for a spiritual reading. This is working in tandem with a reading that I did on my other channel, A Moment with Mystic Mia, where I do the inner work, a tarot reading to figure out what I need to know for an upcoming trip. Just kind of showing my process, learning from other people's process, kind of leaving folks just coming onto the cycle that I just left, how I process and do spiritual work with different specific things in life. All right, so for this pick a card reading, we're looking at what you need to know before the trip, what you should look out for during the trip, and what may happen after the trip. You can pick the same number for each category, or you can pick different numbers, whatever image resonates with you, or crystal, or a number for that specific category before, during, or after. Or you can pick the same number, or you can pick it for different trips. So you have your options here. And the timestamps are below. It's a timeless reading. It should resonate whenever you come across this, whenever you want to look into this upcoming trip of yours. And with that, I hope you enjoy the reading, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful wild one. We're looking at what you need to know before the trip. So let's get into it. Let's look at a couple of things that you might want to know before this trip. Woman. Okay, so I do feel like a woman outside of yourself is significant to this trip. So I don't know if you're taking a trip with a woman or if you're going to be meeting a woman on this trip, but there is a specific person, a female, that is important to this trip. That is a woman. She's going to be a significant part. Whether you're male or female, this woman is going to be a significant part of this trip. King of Swords. The truth. It may be that you have to lead this woman. So this woman could be your best friend, it could be a family member, it could be someone else's friend that's coming along on this trip, it could be someone you meet on this trip, but it feels like someone that you have to kind of lead for some reason. So I feel like you might be taking the reins. So I feel like you might be the one who's planning the trip, or who has to kind of do more of the planning, or kind of set the rules, set the tone, set the directions. You're kind of leading this woman, whether this person is someone who is the other person on this trip coming with you, one of many on this trip, or someone you're going to meet during the trip. Okay, and Star. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. But it came out in reverse. So I feel like you speaking your truth, leading this person, is going to lead you to I'm getting a timeline shift of happiness, positivity, enthusiasm. So I feel like this person is someone that you need to stand up to, or prove that you are, show that you are a different person than they think of you, or remember you as, or see you as. So there's something about taking charge and showing this person, or this person showing you, that you're ready to take charge in life, or that, that you're ready to take charge in life. And whoever this person is to you, you're kind of showing them, like, yeah, this is what we're doing, this is the direction we're taking, this is who I am now. And this person is coming on the trip, or is involved in the trip somehow, for you to experience that, to stand up for yourself and be like, this is who I am now, this is the direction I take, this is how I lead, this, something like that. It's a declaration. So this trip is definitely something that is going to allow you to step up into your own voice, step up into leading and taking direction, giving other people direction. Okay, let's see. Alive, you may delight in vitality. There's something about not being ashamed of taking a part of life. I'm getting something about living in the moment. I feel like this person and you are crossing paths in order for you to kind of show how you are ready to be more of a leader and kind of use more of your voice and give more direction to others, and showing to others like, this is who I am now. And also for you to show them how to live in the moment and be alive and not take things too seriously, and kind of show them how to plan, how to direct, how to take charge. You're also showing them how to do this. So they came to cross your path so you can step up, but also so you can show them how to step up for themselves in the future. Yes, I definitely feel like you are showing how, like, how sometimes when you're doing something new or something that you feel confident in, like you want to show it to someone, like your best friend or a family member or just whoever, a stranger, like just by acting it out and experiencing and showing it to someone else kind of solidifies it for you, kind of gives you confidence. It gives you confirmation that, like, yeah, you do know what direction you're taking. So you showing this woman what direction to take on this trip, either before the trip or during the trip, or both, is kind of proving to yourself that you're ready to be a leader, use your voice, figure out direction and take it and give directions to others. So this is something that is like meant to cross your path during this trip, is to kind of bring out the confidence in you that you are ready to take the next steps in your life. And it starts with this woman and this trip. It's going to kind of come out of you in that way. Let's see what else you need to know before the trip. Letter, writing, speech. Okay. Telling the truth. Okay. Interesting. And a snake. Okay, so your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. So with the snake and the Seven of Swords here, there is something about like the keeping like secrets and truth. Communication. I'm getting it's gonna be kind of a test to make sure you don't say too much, but don't say nothing. I feel like you have to play it smart here. I feel like there's your side, their side, and the truth, and everyone else's side, whatever. I feel like you're gonna have to be careful with your words. It's not like you're keeping the truth, but it's like not everyone needs to know the whole truth every single second, every single time, every single moment kind of thing. So I think there's a little bit of like if there's bad blood or there's something that's bothers you during the trip, or you feel like someone didn't do something right during the trip, or you thought your plans were better than someone else's plans, or something goes wrong and you knew it, you called it. I think there's a little bit of, yeah, you probably knew it, but you should probably keep it to yourself. Like maybe if someone isn't aware of that, or doesn't understand wouldn't be able to see your side, or wouldn't be able to see the truth of the situation, maybe like slip it in a casual conversation at some point in the trip. But I think it would be smart for you, it'd be beneficial for all involved, including yourself, especially yourself, to play it smart and not call people out, and kind of be the bigger person here. Reveal. May openness lead you to connection. And in the whole spirit of like you kind of showing this person, because I feel like with this person it feels like a little bit of like a mentor energy, and I don't know if you saw this person this way or they saw you in this capacity, but they do follow your example. They do get inspired by you. They do learn a lot from you. So that's why you just gotta be careful, because I feel like this person, whether it's a friend, a family member, or someone you just met on the trip, I feel like they kind of look up to you, and you might not see them that way. You might see this person as like someone who should be your equal, or who should be helping you, or being more open or something like that. But I feel like you just have to lead by example, and I feel like because they look up to you, you don't want to kind of take it out on them, or just continue being that good example kind of thing. So it's like maybe you're being more vulnerable. Maybe you want to be more open and kind of share something. This is a trip where you're taking a leap of faith. You want to have this trip lead to something better in the future. You're hoping that this trip can produce positive outcomes. I feel like this is a time where you're ready to take chances, do something new, and this trip is like a culmination of things coming together, where it's like this could be the start of something new, or this could be the trip before everything happens. So I feel like if you're going, whether you're going alone or you're going with one or more people, or you're meeting up with some people, like there's something here where it's like I feel like with others they're not as comfortable being as vulnerable and open as you are, and so you're kind of showing them this is a rite of passage. When you go on a trip like this, like you let things come out, and you might get kind of frustrated that people might not be matching your energy, but be aware that people are looking up to you, and you're getting there. It's funny, I'm getting like they're getting so many downloads from you. So if they're exhausted, if they're quiet, or if they're just kind of staring at you, or they're just kind of taking it all in, it's because of that. They're taking it all in. They're digesting how to behave. They're modeling their behavior and how they should take an experience like this through your eyes, through your actions. So it might seem like they're not interacting with you, or if they're not prepared, or they're not matching your energy, or they're not coming at you at this connection or this trip equally. Just know that it's like you're kind of stepping into a more mentor, teacher, ready to lead role, and they're looking at you preparing to be in the role that you were just in. So you're moving up, and they're moving up too, but they're moving into the role that you just finished, and you're moving into the next role. So just be aware going into this trip that whether you thought that this was going to be the experience or not, that you're going to be kind of like a role model or mentor, or kind of someone this person is looking up to, learning a lot from. And so to kind of mind how you say things, what you say, maybe not say some of the negative things out loud, maybe not put too much expectations on others, and know that this is also positive for you to step into a leadership role that will be something that will help you in the near future. This is getting you prepared. This trip, you probably have a feeling, was a leap of faith into whatever is next, and it is helping you prepare in a very, very big ways. All right, pile 1, that is part 1. You can continue for part 2, or pick a different pile number, and I'll see you over there. Hi, beautiful pile 2. Welcome to the first part, which is what you need to know before the trip. So let's get started. What do you need to know before the trip? Mice. Okay. This is usually a sign of fertility, abundance. Okay. 23. Loss, worry, stress. Okay. Is there a loss, worry, stress? Okay, so you might be stressing out because of I'm getting like you don't know how to tell your boss something, or you know, you're not sure if you should tell this person that you're dating that you're going on this trip or not. Like, how close are you guys? Or you know, you want something different on this trip than the person you're visiting or the person that you're going with, and you're kind of worried that you haven't said anything yet. So I do feel like there's like a little bit of a worry where like about something you haven't said yet, and you feel like it might affect how well this trip goes. It's because you're gonna be worrying about it. Okay, so like you're like, I feel like you want to be able to tell your boss or your coworkers or your friend or this person you like or whatever, your family member, like this thing about your trip, and you're kind of like, I have to tell them because I'm stressed out about it, and like if I don't tell them, I'm gonna be worried about it the whole trip. But at the same time, I don't want to tell them and then they kind of like ruin it for me, and they can like if they're not excited for me, or if they're not like take it like positively, or they think I'm being unsafe or whatever, then it's gonna ruin the trip for me too. So I feel like you're a little bit of like an overthinker sometimes, or maybe just for this particular situation, because you maybe just came out of something difficult and you're like, I want to go on this trip and I want to have a fun time, but like you want to say this thing because you're going to be worrying about it if you don't, but if you do, you don't want other people to kind of ruin that thing for you. So I feel like that's kind of your worry before the trip. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Luck. But luck is on your side. Beautiful pile 2. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. So I feel like there's like you have some good news or something you're excited about, and that's why you want to tell others, but you're like, I don't know if I should or not. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Soothed. May you settle gently even as the wave breaks above. So I am getting that Spirit saying like, maybe don't say anything in the beginning, or maybe tell like one person that you trust, or only people that you trust, and then tell them afterwards or something, or tell them when it feels right, like a little bit like during the trip or after the trip, like put that worry out of your head kind of in the best way possible. I do feel like it's enough of a burden for you to then think about what other people are going to say and think about this. So they're like, just carry it on your own. Make it like a you thing. It's like your adventure, your experience, your quest in life, your soul mission, you know? And like, you know, whatever happens, happens. And it's like your story to tell. So, if you're extremely worried, maybe tell one person but that you really trust, or maybe like write it down and then leave it somewhere like in a desk or something, so that if you want someone to know or something, or find it at a later point. But I'm getting that this is your journey. Like you're gonna have the strength to keep it to yourself and keep that excitement to yourself, and come whatever may. This is your story, your adventure, your life. And you know, you're going to be able to handle it. You're not going to be anxious about it. I think you're kind of worried that it might, like, if you're too anxious, if you think about it too much, it'll ruin the trip for you. And Spirit's saying, like, no, this is actually going to be a magical moment. This is something that you're going to appreciate that you did for yourself, or that you took a chance on, took the opportunity with. And you know, sometimes we need secrets. We need our own secrets that we have to ourselves that no one else knows about us, and experiences that we have that are just magical, that's just between you and God, or you and the universe, you know. And so you can treat it like that. And then afterwards, when you feel like the time is right, you're gonna know when that time is right to tell certain people. Slowly start telling them. Tell them a little bit here and there. That's kind of it. Okay, and so what else can you look forward to? What else you need to know? House, family, warmth. What's the number here? 4, of course. House, home, security, property, comfort. What do you need to know about the home? Okay, so you might come across a location that you feel like is perfect for you. And you might not want to tell people yet because you don't want to, like, jinx it, right? And or you might find a person or situation that feels like home to you. And so no wonder you're being very protective, because this is something that's like connects with your soul. And I feel like it's a physical thing outside of yourself. So it could be a location, area, city, town that you really love, a home, a house. Maybe it's a workplace or a line of work. It could be a person, it could be a best friend, it could be a new teacher, mentor, it could be a new pet or a baby that you're adopting, or something like that. I feel like it's something that's like so really, really personal and big and physical outside of yourself that you don't want to tell everyone around you about this just yet. So it makes absolute sense why you want to keep this to yourself for a little bit. But yeah, so you're looking for, I feel like before this trip, you're looking for something that resonates with you. You might be looking for a home, you might be looking for an adoption, you might be looking for a partner, you might be looking for love, you know, that kind of thing. And so we have the Fool card here. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. So I do feel like you want to take this leap of faith. You are the Fool card, which is also the Hero card, where you are taking a leap of faith. You're like, I'm going to go look for love. I'm going to look for the perfect home, or the perfect place to live, or that perfect darling, or the perfect, workplace, or I'm going to venture out and try to look for this. And so you might not tell everyone that what you're actually looking for, or you might tell some people that you're looking for something like this. The love of your life, whether it's a person, place, or thing, an idea. You're looking for something that resonates with your soul, Joy. May you pursue what lights you up. I do feel like you are going to find something, but I think what's really great here is that you're open to whatever finds you. You're not looking for anything specific. You're just looking for something that matches you. And I think you might be actually telling people a half-truth, like, oh, you're looking for this, or you're just like going on vacation, or you're just going to like meet a friend, or you're just going to go check out this place, this location for something. But you're not telling anyone like the whole truth, which is you're just looking for something that resonates with you, and you are going to find it on this trip, I'm getting. Yeah, it is going to make you feel... I do feel like it's going to make you feel a lack when you go on this trip, because you're like so hopeful of finding something, a person, a people, organization, an opportunity, a home, a perfect location, perfect business. I do feel like you're kind of looking for something on that level. And I feel like every corner you're going to be like, almost, but not. Or didn't find anything here. But you don't even mind because you're having a great time, just being in the moment. You're going to have zero expectations. And funny enough, that's when you find this lucky situation come into your life. That is something that's going to be in your life long lasting. It's something physical outside of yourself. And this is like, it's like how you go into this trip, which is like you're not telling everyone like exactly what you're looking for or what you're actually going on this trip for. Is also the way that you handle this trip afterwards. Like you're not telling everyone exactly what you found, not just yet, or maybe in little moments here and there. But while two, you are going to be finding something, and I can feel you kind of like knowing that like you're gonna find something on this trip, and you're like, I don't know exactly what, and I don't want to tell anyone exactly what I'm looking for. You're keeping things to yourself a little bit, and you're kind of worried like, should I tell people? What shouldn't I tell people? It's like, follow your heart. Like you don't have to tell anyone the whole truth, you know. And no one. Sorry, I got cut off there for a second, but yeah, so no one else needs to know, you know, and you can tell anyone anything because like you're not lying. It's a half truth because you're just looking for something that resonates, and you might tell this person this thing and that other person other things, and it kind of resonates with how you share with people what happened after the trip, how you like you don't have to tell everyone everything, you know. Or the complete truth of how transformative it was for you and what this big thing is. Because, like, no one needs to know either way, before the trip or after the trip. This is a you thing. All right, so you can continue with pile 2 for part 2 if you would like, or pick another pile number, and I'll see you over there. Much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 3. Part 1, we're looking at what you need to know before the trip. So let's get started. Cross, duty, burden, religious faith. Okay, so 36. The last card in this deck, guilt, destiny, religion, grief. Good grief, I'm hearing. Okay, the Empress. Okay, so I do feel like there's a feeling of, you know, putting down the cross. That like the cross was your burden to bear, and it's like now you can finally let go of that grief, let go of that resentment, that guilt. Like all these like heavy emotions apparently are like leaving. So I think you have the intention of kind of letting this trip be like a reset where you come out the other end kind of feeling no shame for what you've been through, how you went through it, and what you had to do, and what you may have to continue doing, and or just not being ashamed of who you are, letting yourself shine. There's something about like dimming your light, like you want to no longer dim your light, and this vacation is giving you an opportunity to do that. I feel like you're so very close to kind of owning whatever this new part of yourself is, or even if it's not new, just kind of declaring it, showing it to others, like this is who I am, this is the direction I'm going in my life, or this is what I'm doing. Like there's something about like owning your voice, no longer dimming your light. And I feel like you were already on the precipice, like you're already on the way to shine your light fully, but this trip, like, you feel like was going to be a huge step forward in that way. Fire, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is kind of like a metaphorical like fire for your life. Like, you know, I don't know if you've done a like cleansing ceremony where you like write things on a piece of paper and then throw it in the fire. Like I feel like this whole trip is kind of like that for kind of the emotions that were kind of burdening you, that you've been kind of holding on to, and you know, you've been kind of working on letting go of some of these heavier emotions. But I feel like this trip is gonna definitely, and I feel like you feel it too, gonna allow you to take a huge step in shining your light again, or shining your light brighter, more fully. Persist. May your ripples build the swell. Yeah, I do feel like there was momentum even before this trip, and this trip isn't like the end of this kind of like not hiding your light, shining your light fully kind of journey for you. But it's a huge step in that direction, for sure. There's going to be little things that come up before the trip that's going to kind of make it very obvious that this is what's happening for you. Like you're going to be changing things here and there. You know, like if you want to be powerful, if you want to lead a life of authenticity and fully in your voice, you know, you can't just wish it and let it happen. You have to build yourself up to get to that point, right? And so you've done the bigger challenges, and now all that's left to close out the cycle and to fully be in your true power, your true light, at this point in your life, is these final last steps. To just kind of, you've done all the internal work, and now your light is very, very bright, and now you're just getting used to shining it for others to see, or fully letting people see, or fully letting your light shine. So I feel like you already did the hard work. You're just kind of, this like last leg is just kind of revealing it to the world, and you've been taking a lot of steps even before this trip. And this trip is going to be like a huge step in that direction. It's not going to finish it, but it's definitely a huge step in finishing it. So that continues. It's going to be very obvious to you before the trip and during the trip that this is what's happening for you. Okay, what else do you need to know before the trip? Lily, okay, 30. Aging, wisdom, sexuality, maturity, and harmony. Along with the Lovers card. Wow. So a lot of Venusian energy here. I definitely feel like with the Empress and the Lovers coming out in reverse, it definitely feels like you've already done the hard work. You already have this in your energy. The energy of the divine feminine, of sacred spirituality, sacred sexuality. Like you already exude confidence. You already know who you are, and you really owned it. You're owning it. You know, I think this is a cycle that you've like closed out recently, and you're coming into this new version of yourself, and you're like letting other people see it more and more. And it's like weird because not only are you showing it to others, but you're seeing it for yourself. Like, oh, like this is who I am. This is how powerful I am. This is how beautiful I am in my energies and in my physical body. Like, I think you're just kind of coming into terms of like, oh wow, like this is the new version of me. Like how incredible. It's like you're being amazed by it while you're amazing others by it at the same time. But yeah, so this is something that I feel like you've already done. You already chosen for yourself. This is what you want to do. You already done the hard work, and now you're just kind of coming out of the chrysalis, you butterfly. Okay, and let's see. Unity. Oh, this is such a love-centered reading, and it's because the love starts with you, so it's definitely coming from within you first. A time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. Yeah, exactly. You're radiating so much love for yourself and for who you are, and your place in the world, and what you understand, and where you are now. And that is also attracting a lot of resonant people, places, and things, opportunities for you. So it's a very beautiful time for you. You're kind of getting used to it too. You're like, wow, all these manifestations, opportunities, the right people. You know, it's just kind of maybe a little overwhelming, but at the same time, it's amazing, and you're kind of just in it. You're like, I'm going to be in it. imagine. May you look beyond what can be seen. And the thing is, yeah, you're gonna look better, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna come off more confident in the way you speak and the work that you do, and the, you know, whatever, however you have fun, like, and that people, like, the way you laugh, make other people laugh, like your personality, that's all gonna shine. Everything that you can see obviously is shining, but what is gonna be the fun thing to reveal is all the hidden things that people didn't know you were working on. That's gonna come out in glimpses here and there when you take action, when you make decisions, when you do, you know, play out activities, when you take up responsibilities, when you speak your mind, share your ideas, you know, ask thought-provoking questions, have conversations, like all the things that the people aren't aware of is going to come shining through too. So not only are you physically looking good, or you're getting to the point where you're recognizing how beautiful you are on the outside, but also showing folks how beautiful you are on the inside, which is a huge perk of this massive, massive change that you made in your life. I feel like this is like kind of like a coming out for you. Like you're kind of getting used to this new version of yourself that you worked so hard on. Okay. Page of Pentacles. And the Tower. Wow. There might be an idea of something that you want to do even before this trip. I do feel like you're going to be given an opportunity. It might be a small one, but something is coming into your life. Even if it's a small opportunity, even if it's just a seed, but I feel like this is like a seed that is planted by someone else. So I do feel like there's someone, you have a feeling that, okay, that someone is going to come on this trip and give you an opportunity. And it seems small at first, but this is the first of many opportunities that are to come. I do feel like you feel it too. Like this is going to change your whole world. And I feel like this small opportunity that comes through isn't maybe directly related to what you were expecting, but you understand that it is related to what you want to manifest. And because there's a lot of love here, self-love, whatever it is, it's like probably like a partner, a relationship, friends, social life, or a more prosperous life, a more resonant career, or something that connects to your heart, you know, better belief system, better health, more resonant, you know, situations in your life. So I do feel like I think you already know. I think maybe you spoke to a different psychic or tarot reader, or even like your own intuition, your own guides have been telling you that someone is going to give you something on this trip that is going to be the beginning of this manifestation. Something that really resonates with you in your life. Something very big. It's like your self-love is like shining and showing itself, and it's attracting whatever is coming in. So a little something small at first, but that's something is gonna help jump into that bigger energy of love, whatever, and however it comes through. There is maturity here, wisdom here, so I do feel you've done the work, and so you're expecting big things from this trip. And it might come through in a small way, but that small thing is actually very big because it's going to help you jump into a higher energy frequency that's going to bring in the bigger manifestation that you actually want. All right, pile 3, I hope you enjoyed this reading. You can definitely check out part 2, pile 3, or a different pile, depending on what you resonate with, and I'll see you there. Hi, beautiful pile 4. We're looking at what you need to know before the trip. So let's get started. The Moon card. All right, that's number 32. Imagination, creativity, shadow self, reflection. All right. So I feel like there's something that's like you're like kind of wondering about, but you don't know exactly what it is. You can't put your finger on it. There's like something that you need or want or need to address, but you're like, I'm not sure quite like what it is exactly. So I feel like you're like, oh, I don't know if I should figure this out before the trip. I don't know if I'm going to figure it out during the trip. You know, there's some like clarity needed, but you don't even know what you need clarity on exactly yet. So it's like, but you know something big. Yeah. I think some of you will get the clarity even before the trip. And will start to get the clarity right before the trip, or know at least that there's some clarity in this thing that you need to get eventually. Okay, wish card. Your heart desires is ready to come true. Okay, so the thing that you are wondering about is, what is it that you desire? What is it that you wish? What's next in your life? Like, what do you want? And I think like there's like some of you are going to come at it with like a shadow aspect. Sorry, my kitten just kind of threw everything else into chaos. But okay, so yeah, some of you are going to come at it from like the shadow aspect, like, oh, there's a shadow aspect you need to address and then clear and heal in order to get to what you want. Like, you know, like it's kind of one of those things like knowing what you don't want makes you clear on what you do want. And then some of you is going to be like, you just need some clarity or more details on exactly what you want, but like with, more details, more clarity, more of a visual, more specifics. I feel like it's kind of like about to come through. So you're kind of like, okay, now time to look at like some more details, make some decisions, and getting more clarity based on that. The Emperor in reverse. Okay, so I could definitely see whatever is coming in for you, whatever that you want, whatever this next chapter is, this next goal, this next accomplishment is a pretty big deal. Held. You may feel the ocean's caress. Yeah, I do feel like you definitely feel like the universe is on your side right now, and that you are being led, you're being guided to whatever this next thing is. And it's something that you wanted, and it's something pretty big or long-lasting or both. Yeah, I feel like it's just like kind of figuring out the details kind of thing. Figuring out the details, clearing what you need to clear, doing whatever inner work you need to do. But it's kind of this feeling of like, whatever way you go about it, you're going to get some clarity. And this clarity is this is something you already kind of know, but it's just getting more specifics, more details, more clear on the next steps, or like you're about to take the first steps, you know, for whatever this new goal, this new thing that you want to accomplish is. All right, so what else do you need to know before the trip? The Sun card. Wow, happiness. Yeah, positive outcome. I definitely feel that you definitely know this is a huge shift coming. Whatever clarity you're going to get on this trip is going to set you up for life. Like, seriously, it's going to give you the clarity of like everything that you needed to know coming together. So the Moon card reverse. Absolute clarity. We have the Moon card here, and then the Moon card in reverse for me always means like big clarity. I feel like it's gonna, like, I feel like you've had some like emotions. It's like not just like one, but like many different types of emotions like confusion, frustration, feeling kind of hopeless at times, and kind of feeling very confident at times, just kind of like all over the place, but very strong emotions, because it's like, what's next? I should be chill about it. I should let it come through the way it's supposed to, but actually I would love to make some moves on it. I'm a little anxious right now. So just a lot of big emotions. And the sun and the moon here together is going to be night and day. This trip is going to be life changing for you. It's going to give you the clarity that you need in order to move forward. I think a lot of you have worked on your manifestation abilities. You're able to make things happen, but the next step is figuring out what you want and need and is absolutely aligned with you in order to manifest it. So Spirit here is like saying, like, yeah, you're at a good place in your journey and you're really good with your manifestation abilities. You probably have already had some manifestations, like some old manifestations come through recently around this trip, a little bit before, a little bit during, a little bit after, things that you've always wanted. And you're probably going to see now that you're in alignment. Your manifestations skills are on point. You're just trying to figure out what exactly to manifest next, but it has to be in complete alignment, and that's why you're just kind of like confused, because you kind of have an idea, it's a little fuzzy, but you're getting all the details now or around this trip, a little bit before, during, and after. All right, so what else? Celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Yeah, for real. Power 4. You're really aligned to new, very authentic, very aligned things to come into your life. You're very excited about it. You can feel it. You can feel the intensity. You might have been getting signs, synchronicities about this trip, around this trip, or on this time for you for so long. You know things are going to come through in a pretty big way. Okay, hope in reverse. Yeah, that's like the hopeless feeling I was feeling. May the horizon always sustain you. So I do feel like you always have hope. You always have faith. You always have clear vision about what you want, your goals, and what you want to manifest. But it gets hard sometimes when it takes a while to get there, and you start losing hope here and there. And so this trip is definitely going to reset your manifestation abilities. It's going to definitely reset your mind, your emotions, your energy to manifest this next thing. Because I feel like sometimes you just need a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of support from the universe, and this trip is definitely doing that for you, so you can bring in the next thing, the next manifestation. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords. Yeah, it's been a long journey, it seems like, for you. And I do feel like you might have gotten a little bit here and there, but it just feels like clarity. Every time something happened, it was more clarity. And a feeling of renewal, feeling of you got signs, synchronicity, someone has your back, passed over loved ones, your angels, universe, like they have your back. And then, and you keep going and you keep going. So, but when is it going to manifest? This, whatever is manifesting, is very big. Very big. It's big. It's a long time coming. You can feel it. You know this is the start of everything, or kind of a huge jump forward. And so you can definitely see this isn't just one of those things where it's like, this is just part of the journey. There's gonna be more trips, more events like this. No, it's actually like this is the start of this big manifestation. Wow, how exciting. So I definitely think, Pal, for if you've been feeling kind of frustrated, unclear, fuzzy, like you want to get things together and you're ready to, but you don't know how, and you're waiting for the universe to kind of bring through these last bits of energy, the last pieces of the puzzle together for you. This is going to be a night and day kind of trip for you, and you know it. I think you've been feeling it. You've been seeing the signs, synchronicities. You're going to have a lot to celebrate, your wishes coming through, and this is something that you've been working on for a long time. So I feel like you have no expectations, and that's why with your bar that low, the universe is like, oh, we're going to surprise you, So I feel like you're going into it being like, yeah, if they're going to say something big is going to happen, it's probably going to be something energetic or emotional, so not something physical that I can see. But I think you're going to be surprised with the clarity that comes through during this trip, how quickly you're going to be able to manifest it. All right, pile 4. And you can pick the same pile for part 2 or a different pile, whatever resonates with you, and I'll see you over there. Pile 1, this is part 2, which is what to look for during the trip, what to look out for, what you might notice, focus on. Okay, so let's see. Ambition, Apprentice of Clouds. Okay, so the Page of Swords. I definitely feel like there's going to be a new idea for your life's work during this trip. You might get an inkling, a feeling of what this next step in. When I say life's work, it could be career, but for me, life's work is like just in general, like what you work on, what you focus on most of the time for your personal growth every day. So that could be career, but I see it as more of a whole, where it could be, you know, what you're working on in terms of health or your home or relationships. So it's just kind of like an idea of what you want to work on in the next chapter of your life. So you might get a really like good clarity, a good idea, or the inklings, the beginnings of clarity of what you want this next chapter to look like. And we do see that for pile 1, it does seem like at this point of your trip, you do feel like, oh yeah, like it does feel like new things are going to be starting in your life. Let's see. Healthy heart. And it came out in reverse, which is funny because I was like thinking healing heart was going to be like, I read healthy heart first. So I feel like you want to get healthy, not just physically, but in your relationships. So I feel like you want to look out for connections that will allow you to continue your health routines or any health routines you want to start, and also be a better connection, better relationships than you had before. So this can be romantic, friendships, work relationships, and even family relationships. It's like you're kind of looking out for your heart in both ways, physically and with interaction. So you might want to focus. I feel like this clarity that you start gaining during this trip is letting you realize what your heart needs, literally. Like what does it need in terms of health, you know, diet and exercise and time for yourself, but also in regards to what kind of relationships are healthy for you. So I think you're picking up a lot of things on this trip. It's like, oh, I need this, I don't need that, you know? What do I need for my environment? What do I need for my lifestyle? I think it's like more than the location. You're more focused on what do I need for myself for the next chapter. You're ready to kind of take the next step into improving your life. Oh, wow, health and heart again here. Health issues could arise. Okay. And it came out in reverse. So I do feel like you are healthy, but I think your concern is, or you've been working on your health and you pretty much got that down. But I think what the concern here is how do I continue being healthy? And you're noticing like maybe people don't resonate with you anymore, certain connections or certain habits, certain lifestyle choices, even life-work balance. You're kind of figuring out, this trip is really helping you figure out like what you need for this next chapter in your life to continue good health, you know. And Princess in reverse. So all these cards are coming out in reverse, which is a sign that like something may happen. It does seem positive with the color scheme here. It does seem like something, it's like a positive clarity of like, okay, I need to take care of myself. The Princess coming out in reverse, I do feel like you tend to care for others a lot. You like to make other people feel special. You kind of might sacrifice your own, even during the trip, you might sacrifice some of your own happiness, or you might be the one who takes a little bit more responsibility, or you're looking up restaurants on your phone, you're doing the research, you're looking out for people and make sure everyone's okay, or you'll take the earlier time slot for the shower so other people have more time to get ready, kind of thing, like, or you're like, oh, I'll take care of the kids a little bit more so my partner has more time to relax or sleep more. It's like you're the one who kind of pampers others a lot, and you're realizing during this trip that's like, yeah, during this next cycle, I feel like maybe before this trip, that you've been kind of working on taking care of yourself, and you're realizing that on this trip that you naturally like to take care of others, make sure everyone else is doing fine, including yourself, but you're realizing that you want to continue making sure that you're okay and less of other people are okay. Like, everyone tends to thrive when you're doing well because you're the one who makes sure that everyone else is doing well. So you're like, I feel like you're not being selfish here. You're being kind of good to yourself. And if that means taking on less people in your life or less daily activities, taking on less of a workload or whatever it is, then so be it. But I feel like during this trip you're realizing that you have to prioritize yourself first, and if you're happy, the environment, the people around you will naturally flow and be happy. So it starts with you. Yeah, Oracle of Gems, the Queen of Pentacles, practicality. It came out in reverse. So yeah, there's a real energy that you're the queen here. Like, when you're good, everything around you falls into place. Your work projects, people at work are happier when you're happier. Like, you're kind of one of those people that like when you're doing well, everything around you is doing well. So you're recognizing that it's not selfish. In fact, it's a blessing when you're happy, when you're healthy. It's a blessing to all around you. And I think you're coming to realize like how much of a blessing you are to everything and everyone around you. So it's a blessing to take care of yourself. It's a blessing to be happy and healthy, and nothing else matters. Everything else falls into place when that happens for yourself. And what else are you going to be focusing on, or looking out for, or noticing on the trip? Ooh, the King of Pentacles. I do feel like, and this came out in reverse, I do feel like if you aren't already on this trip with a significant other, that you're looking for that. You're like, I'm good on my own, but what a powerhouse could me and a partner be if we were on the same wavelength. So if you are on this trip with a significant other, you both are killing it. You both can look out for each other. You both can equally relax, have fun, take care of, your person and your people and everyone else around you. It feels like it's a shared load. If you're not coupled up, then that's exactly what you're looking for, because you're like, I can take care of myself and I can take care of others, but it'd be nice to be able to take breaks and take shifts, and so I feel like you're looking for that in a partner, but I feel like also maybe in just general, like, people around you, friends and such. Okay, so there's something shocking that might happen on this trip in regards to your wealth, the money that you make. So we have distance. Okay, I am getting oh my god, baby Suki. Sorry, this one came back from me from this last trip. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So I do feel like you might have a shock in regards to, I'm getting a twin flame type of energy. It might come up. So if you've been in a divine counterpart, twin flame kind of energy. So I do feel like it's like two things. I do feel like, first of all, there's like a twin flame energy that might come through, and if you never had like a twin flame energy, then like a very strong soulmate connection, like divine counterpart kind of feeling. And if you haven't had that energy before in your life, then it's going to be kind of shocking to you to feel that kind of energy. It's like, and especially if you don't know who this person is, it's like going to surprise you. It's like, who am I connecting to? I feel like I'm connecting to someone so like a deep soulmate of mine. Just randomly you're going to feel all these signs, synchronicities. And if you do have like a divine counterpart, soulmate, or a twin flame that you feel connected to, you might get a really strong sign with that. And if you are kind of further along the journey, you'll understand that the twin flame, who you think your twin flame is as a physical person, can be a symbol for your mind of a divine love. So I do feel like there's a divine love shock that comes your way as you're traveling. I feel like you might come in close proximity to this kind of divine love, especially if you see someone as a twin flame. You might be crossing paths with them and you might not know it. And whenever you come in close proximity to someone who can kind of God. Okay. Come into close proximity with you like that, it will activate you. So it might be crazy, and that actually means that you are getting your heart ready for a new kind of divine love. And if you're already with your partner, then you're going to be coming in to like health and wealth, new. I'm so sorry, I think I got cut off there. So I kind of finished the reading and didn't realize. So yeah, you're probably getting activated with your heart. And yeah, if you are single, you're definitely getting activated for your partner to come in. And if you are partnered up, you're definitely getting activated for this new soul mission. Either way, both of you are going to be teachers. It's going to be very shocking though, because I think on this trip you're going to realize that you're wanting to meet people who can match your energy, whether this is a work trip and you're looking for other people you can network with, or if you're scouting, if this is a scouting trip and you're looking for a place to settle down, or if you're just like looking to have fun and find like-minded people, or kind of build that energy with the people you're going with, or people that you're meeting up with, whether you're visiting friends or family, finding that you're not in the right energy. This energy is like a mismatch. And so I definitely feel that, like, you know, you go into this expecting to have have your energy matched, and then coming out of it realizing that you're ready to evolve, and this person that comes in, or this situation that comes in, it's gonna feel so completely different from the people that are currently in your life. So that is, you know, even new people that have come in, old people in your life, just currently anyone in your life right now, it's just gonna be a completely different energy, and that's how you're gonna know. And you've been activated during this trip to meet this new type of energy. This trip is gonna make you realize that you have old energy in the people around you right now. Or the situation, if you're already partnered up, you're gonna see that, like, you know, you're in old situations, and this new situation that comes in is gonna be completely different from the situations you've had before. And that's how you're gonna know that, like, okay, you've outgrown your old situations, you're ready for this new situation. So thank you for bearing with me. It's my first time reading with a kitty that I brought back from my last trip, actually. I just had to get used to it. I'm good with distractions. I've been practicing with the window open, people coming by, loud streets, loud music. So I'm pretty good, but a kitten is a little bit different for me. So thank you for bearing with me. And you can definitely move on to part 3 with the same pile number or a different pile number, and I'll meet you over there. A beautiful pile 2. This is part 2, which is what to look out for during the trip. So let's look into that. 2 gems. Priorities. Okay. And it came out in reverse. So there might be a shift of priorities. Some part through the trip. It could be at the beginning, middle, or end. But like at some point during the trip, your priorities might change. Your priorities for what you want for the trip. The runner, okay, and came out in reverse. Running away, okay. So I feel like before this priority change happens, during the beginning of the trip, you might have come into this trip thinking you wanted it to go one way, and then realizing at some point it's like, oh, like that's not how the trip is going to go. I'm going to have to change my priorities, change some things around, and because like you can't run, what are you gonna do? You spent a lot of money, or you have some things planned, or there's a lot of people involved, or whatever the situation is. Like, what are you gonna do? Run from your own vacation? Run away from these activities, canceling them, rescheduling them, whatever it is. Maybe there's like, whatever the situation is, like I feel like at some point during the trip you're like, okay, I can't run away from this, I'm gonna have to deal with it, change of priorities. I guess we're not gonna be focusing on this so much, we're focusing on this, or maybe the group wants to do this, so I have to change that, or maybe your partner or your family member like has this going on. It's like something shifts, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Run away from it? You just have to change the direction of the trip, the priorities on the trip. Pets, getting a new pet, giving a current pet more love. Yeah, maybe it's something where one of the pets or the kids are like exhausted. It's like, okay, like what are we gonna do? Like push for this. Maybe you're exhausted, maybe your parents are exhausted, the grandparents, like someone is like, I'm getting too tired to go here, or maybe if you're a group of friends, like maybe you're allergic to something. It's like when someone's like has a specific dietary restriction and this restaurant doesn't accommodate that, or something like that. So it's like, I don't know, something happens where it's like some sort of event or activity for the trip is canceled or has to be changed because of how people are currently feeling or something like that. And it's like, what are you gonna do but adapt? So it's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, rest. Okay, so I do feel like it's not like you're like anyone is saying like, no, let's not do this. Sorrow. Yeah, I think it's just like like you can force everyone to kind of stick with the plan, but if you did, then I think a lot of people would be sad, or yeah. And so I think it's kind of given that like people need a rest, or people need a change of plans. Like the trip can't continue going this way. So I don't know if you need to plan in more times to rest, or cancel some activities, or change some activities around so that would better suit the current mood or the current group of people. Maybe there's a change of itinerary, change of people coming in. And so there's something like that happens. It's not a big deal. It's the 2 pentacles. Like, I think you're willing to roll with it, but it's just something to be aware of, that like there's probably going to be a change of plans. Okay, so what else should you be looking out for during the trip? 2 of Wands now, planning. It does feel like talking, interested, waiting, talking more. Okay, so I do feel like there's like a lot of planning that's actively happening during the trip. So you might have gone into it thinking that like you've done all the planning before the trip, and then you're gonna realize that during the trip, not just with the change of plans, but also that like how you kind of plan for just you leave like big days open where you can kind of just do impromptu things, see what you like in the moment. You walk around the city, see what restaurants you like. You might find that like you're researching, looking on the phone, coordinating with everyone involved more than you expected. So just be aware that you might be doing a lot more planning on the trip than you probably initially realized. Like, you know, it's like, oh, you expect to just go in the city and find a restaurant that you like, that you walk by, and then eat there, and then realizing that like, oh my goodness, all the restaurants close early, or they don't have the specific dietary restrictions, or, you know, there isn't really anything that like anyone specifically wants, or that, you know, it's kind of confusing, and maybe everything there is expensive. So like, it kind of gets into this like, are everything there is unhealthy? Whatever the situation is, I think you, just to let you know, you might be doing a little bit more planning, so keep your phone charged, you know, during the trip than you might have realized. Narcissist, someone is too full of themselves. Okay. And I do think you might be dealing with someone that might think they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. So this person might be the person who like set things back, because there might be someone on the trip, it could be you, it could be someone else, that actually knows what they're talking about, and then there's someone who wants to contribute or thinks that they know what they're talking about, but they don't. So they kind of set everyone back a little bit. If you go with this person's plans or this group's plans, like, it might not turn out to be the best experience or anything. But I feel like there's just a heads up from Spirit that like there might be someone on the trip who thinks they know what might be best for the whole group, or what might be best for the situation. Like, oh, it's gonna rain this day, we should change plans for that day instead. Just know that this person may think that they know what's better more than not. Like, I think they don't realize, they might not know what's best, kind of, you know, like they're just saying things they don't actually know from experience or anything, you know. They might be actually saying it out of worry or out of selfishness. So just be aware, there might be someone on the trip who might set people back, set the plans back. It's not like it's going to go horrible if you go with this person's plan, but it's not going to be the best, and just be aware of that. Roots and need. Okay. And also be aware that there might be folks or a person, it could be you, that realizes that this person might need more than they actually like let on. And you know, like they might feel like they're like prepared to take on this like really intense like activity or something like that. If you guys are gonna like go skydiving or something like that, or they might feel like they're ready to take on this trip and stuff like that, and then realize, like, you know, maybe they're just more exhausted than they thought, or maybe they're, you know, not in the right headspace. So just be aware that whoever is I'm not saying it's the same person. It could be you. It could be different people. If there's only 2 people going on this trip, or only you going on this trip, this could be other people around you. But I'm guessing if you pick this pile, that there's more than one person, at least 2 people going on this trip together, where one person might be a little bit more needy than they even expected, that they even thought they needed to be. You know, they need more time, they need more attention, they need more help. You know, so just be aware of that. Last card, the Empress. Yeah, but just know that, like, coming out of this trip, like, the amount that you give, you're definitely going to get back. So, like, I feel like for some reason that, like, you're being tested to see if you're able to give in times of like, be aware of these situations, and that, like, this is what's happening. And that as long as you can be aware of it, you can do something positive about it, and that your efforts will be noted and reciprocated in the near future by the universe. Alright, so pile 2, I hope you enjoyed that part 2. You can continue on to part 3 of pile 2 or pick a different pile, and I'll see you over there. Hi pile 3, this is part 2, what to look out for during the trip. So let's get started. We should be looking out for during the trip. 5 of Cups, sorry, 5 of Swords, defeat in reverse. Okay, so I do feel like there might be a feeling where something didn't work, not work out, but like you just couldn't deal with. Like I feel like there might be a time in the trip where you're like, oh my god, I can't deal with this anymore, you know, whether it's a person or situation or some issues that you're having, like not today, like I can't deal with this right now, or something. It could be something outside of the trip, like something at work or someone in your family or something that like you're just like, no, like I'm on my trip, please, no, I can't deal with this. Or it could be someone on the trip or a situation on the trip. So I do feel like there is a moment on the trip where it's just like, nope, I can't deal with this, but know that will pass. And no, it's because like someone hasn't really figured out how to handle the situation just yet. So it's like, you know, for example, maybe you just started a new job and you're like, hey, like I'm going to be on vacation. You can email me if you absolutely need me, but like, I haven't been on vacation for a really long time. Like, please, keep it to emergencies only. And then like the new person is like emailing you every other hour, just being like, oh my God, this happened, that happened. It's like, I don't think you understand what I meant when I said you could email me on this trip or something like that, or, it could be that, you're going on this trip with like a new partner or a new group of friends or something like that. Or it's like a new kind of type of situation that you and this group or this person hasn't experienced before. And, it kind of set them off to be awkward or kind of like not feeling like, this is, the way they want to handle it. They don't know how to handle it yet. They don't know how to deal with the situation yet. So I would just be like, I know it would be kind of annoying, but just know that like this person's just trying to figure out like what your boundaries are and how do you want to handle this and how they want to handle this. So just like be aware that like that's kind of like the situation. Okay. And then we have silence. Yeah. So I think you're going to surprise yourself because I feel like you're going to just like, I'm getting like radio silence. Like, I feel like you're just going to like be like, oops, I didn't have service in the area, so I couldn't get your emails. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like you're just going to like, kind of take the, I'm not dealing with this approach with like, in a passive way. Like, I'm just going to kind of be quiet and move out of here. So I definitely do feel like you're like, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to shut off my phone. Or I'm just going to have them deal with it. Or, you know what, I'm just going to continue going to this place and like they can figure out if they want to come or, figure out like what they want to do with this or something like that. So I do definitely feel like there's a situation where, oh my gosh, they're kind of, you're kind of like, I'm just gonna not deal with this, like I'm on vacation, I don't have to deal with this. This is on them. They can figure it out, Okay, and then we have the 9 of Wands, resilience. Yeah, I feel like you have to be strong in order to just be like, to keep your mouth shut, I'm hearing. You're like, okay, sweetie. But don't worry. I think Spirit's like, that's okay. You can do that. You can just be like, I'm not dealing with this. It's something it's like emergency or you need to, but like otherwise, like it's like you can step out of this situation. You don't have to deal with it. You can just let it, whoever needs to deal with it, deal with it. All All right, so like, what else should you look out for on this trip? Play, okay. Knight of Cups. So I definitely feel like there's gonna be a part of you that comes out that just wants to kind of enjoy the trip. And you're thinking, this is a trip, this is a vacation. Why wouldn't I be enjoying myself? No, I think, yeah, girl with the snake. I think it's because, like someone is setting up boundaries with you, or you're setting up some boundaries with someone else. And I think it's like both. I think it's both ways. Like, I feel like you're like, I don't care if this person wants to do that or behave like that or see it this way, but I'm not going to see it this way, and I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the trip. I feel like you're kind of like, okay, like, I'm not going to let their bad mood or their indecision or their whatever's going on with them affect this vacation that I wanted to relax, have fun on, you know? So I feel like you're setting your boundaries and they're setting boundaries. So it's like, that's fine. I can set my own boundaries too, you know, instead of enabling them. Because I feel like there's a part of them that just kind of wants you to, like, do what they want to do or sit with them, or, I don't know, like, they're not, like, communicating properly, or they want, I don't know, I feel like there's something about boundaries where, like, they drew a line in the sand, you're like, I can draw a line in the sand too. And so I think both of you are kind of just like, both of you or this group or these, whatever the situation is, it's like, that's fine. Like, two can play that game. Because I do feel like you're like, I came here to have fun and enjoy myself, and that was the purpose, the intention of this trip, and I'm not going to let anything stop me from that. I mean, this person, I feel like, or these people are kind of, you know, maybe doesn't give you the amount of time to do this as much as you want, but, like, at the same time, I think you're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can. You're trying to enjoy yourself as much as you can. Even if no one's on board, no one wants to do the same things, or no one's, like, if people are being weird or being whatever, indecisive, whatever. Lost love watches over you. Yeah, I do feel like your angels are protecting you because you definitely needed some time to, like, cool off, have fun, do your own thing, and Spirit's like, you're going to be protected. If you have to give them the silent treatment, if you have to go off on your own for a little bit, like, whatever you need to do it, because, like, you definitely need to have fun on this trip. Okay. And then we have joy in reverse. Yeah, that's funny. It came up twice. It's kind of joy energy. I feel like there's a part of this trip where you kind of want to, like, where you're, like, gonna bring it with you for the rest of your life. You know, when you have, like, special moments, like vacations or you know, special events and stuff like that, like, you're gonna remember it for the rest of your life, you know. And so there's, like, a part of you that, like, wants to make sure that, like, there's a part of this trip that you enjoy, that you are glad that you went on this trip with, and that you're glad that you took some time out to enjoy in the way that you want to enjoy it. That will make it all worth it and make it, like, a positive memory in the future. So you're like, this is gonna come with me. This vacation, this trip is gonna come with me into my future, and I want to make sure that it's, you know, there's something positive there. I get something great out of this. Perspective, Queen of Swords, yeah, and the Three of Cups in reverse, heartbreak. Yeah, I do think something, like, I feel like something tries to get you down during this trip. I don't know if it might be, for some of you, it might be someone outside of this trip that's, like, calling you, harassing you, like, messing up your energy, or it could be someone on the trip, or it could be something that happened on the trip, a situation, and you're like, I'm not gonna let it get me down. Like, I'm gonna enjoy this trip as much as I can. I think you've learned your lessons. Like, you can make the experience whatever you want it to be, and instead of it being a miserable experience where you keep being bothered or distracted or nothing is going right or your way, you're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make good things happen for myself on this trip. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun, even if I have to do it myself, or even if I have to go off on my own, or even if I have to do this or that or the other thing, shut off my phone, stop talking to people for a bit, takes, whatever it is. I feel like you're like, I'm going to make this trip fun. And it ends up being really, really fun. It ends up being really, really fun. You want some confirmation about that? Seven of Cups. Scarcity mentality. Yeah. The only thing stopping you is like, feeling like, oh my God, I put so much money into this. We don't have enough time on this vacation. Like, how am I going to enjoy it? It's like, just flip your mind right then and be like, I'm enjoying it right now. What do I want to do? And then go do it. It's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, you just got to kind of do it. Yeah. Lost in reverse. Like, this trip is not going to be seen as a loss. It's going to be something. You're going to look back at it fondly and think about how joyous it is. And in fact, whatever happens like before and after the trip was like, you knew something transitional was going to happen. Like, you knew like something was going to happen, was going to make it like you're going to have to deal with this situation or person. And you're like, I'm not going to let it take over the whole trip. Like, I think you kind of knew going into this trip that there's going to be some clashes, and you were expecting it, and I'm not going to say looking forward to it, but you're like excited for that part to be over, like to just get it over with, because you knew good things were going to come afterwards. So like, you just deal with the clashes, and then good things are going to come up afterwards. And yeah, it's like, how like for example, it's like there's certain experiences in life where it's like you're gonna have your highest highs and your lowest lows. Like, you kind of went into this trip knowing that you're gonna have a lot of fun, but there's gonna be like some parts that's gonna be annoying to deal with, like the clashing parts, right? But like, you're excited to just kind of get through that, and there's gonna be some good times to like that's gonna be throughout the trip that's gonna help you get through the clashes, so that once the trip is done, the positive changes can finally like take place. So like, there's some like clashes I'm getting, but it's like in between all these times where you're having an extremely fun time. So like, it's like you're looking forward to the vacation. It's going to be fun. There's going to be some clashes, but there's going to be some fun, like really, really fun times. So you're just like, it's going to let the trip go through, like, you're going to get through the trip having a lot of fun and getting through the clashes easily, but knowing that the positive changes are going to come afterwards. I don't know how you describe that. It's like, it's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of fun times, a lot of annoying times with the clashes. However that's going to end up, arguments or whatever, or disagreements, or going off on your own. But at the end of the day, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be memorable, and positive changes are coming afterwards. So it's like, you're looking forward to the trip, and you're also looking forward to it being over. Does that make sense? So pile 3, I hope that resonates. If it did, I really appreciate like a comment, and you can continue on to pile 3, part 3, or another pile number if you wish, and I'll see you over there. Hey beautiful pile 4, this is part 2. We're looking at what to look out for during the trip. So let's get started. What to pay attention to during the trip, what you might want to pay attention to. 9 of Cups in reverse. Emotional stability. Okay, I feel like there's something outside of yourself that gives you permission to have fun, let loose and to have fun. Okay, the golden mirror. Love bombing. Okay. I feel like there's a part of the trip where it's like, this feels like it's too good to be true, but hey, it's vacation, why not go with it, kind of thing. Believe in magic, believe in miracles, believe in like things just working out, like why not? And there's this kind of feeling of like how it's like I don't want to go back to reality after this, or this is such a special moment, like is this actually happening, or is this real life right now? I think one of those moments happens for you, and you're like, I think you're like kind of even afraid to even enjoy these special moments that happen randomly like this, just because you're so afraid of like falling afterwards, like like when you're on a high and then like you're like kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with the after effects. Like, what if like I crash and fall? This is the highlight of my trip, the highlight of my year, highlight of my life, and everything after this kind of sucks. So I think there's like a little bit of giving yourself permission to just like indulge when things are good. That's happening, which is really nice. Okay, what else? Manifest, yeah. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those moments where it's like everything's perfect and you're kind of like, I feel like for some of you kind of freeze because like it's so much joy and so much positive emotions that you fear it. Like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna go away. I don't deserve this, or what if this isn't real? You know, that kind of thing. So some of you freeze. Some of you are just kind of like worried about the after effects. What if this is the highlight and things are just downhill after this? I think it's still a lot of people just overthinking, and not just like being in the moment. It's like these are the best times. Like let yourself just live, just be in the moment, kind of thing. Be happy, let it happen. Rest. There is this kind of feeling that what if I miss out because I'm resting? Like, you know, like, for example, if you're like on the beach and it's like a perfect day, the breeze is coming in, and you're like, oh, like I know we have this next event or activity that we're going to do after on our trip. Like we're supposed to be, you know, going downtown later, or like we're supposed to be going here before it closes or whatever. But you're in the moment. It's like just perfect. It's like, am I going to have FOMO? Am I going to regret not going to the other event after, or the thing that we had planned? It's like, no, if you're loving it and it's perfect and you're feeling it, stick with it. Ace of Clouds, Ace of Swords, new ideas. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, Spirit is saying like when you're on this trip and you're just feeling something feels right, go with it. Go with it. I don't care how much those tickets cost. Like, I don't care if everyone wants to go to that other spot. I don't care if you got that last table reservation. You know, just go with it. If you have to skip those things, if you're in the moment and things feel right, or you're being guided to a different direction or a different event or something, trust your gut and go with it. Vacations are a really, really good way for the universe to help connect folks to people, places, things, ideas, opportunities that they might have not otherwise. So if you feel like you're being pulled in a different direction, or to stay where you are because it just feels right, go with your gut, honey. All right, so what else should you maybe look out for during the trip? Eight of Pentacles, hard work. There's this feeling. There is something though. There is one specific event that you probably worked really hard for, or some sort of planning for the trip, like your main event or something that you worked really hard for, that you should stick to your plan. If someone wants to move it, change it, or whatever, stick with your gut, stick with what you plan. So there's like this one event that like might be the thing that resonates with you the most, the thing you're most excited for, or the thing that took the most planning, or like the main event of the trip. There's something about that specific event that you should go with your gut with as well and stick with. So like everything else, you know, play it by ear or whatever, but there's one event that's like the main one, and you're gonna know what that is, that you should stick to your original plans, or what you feel like is the right thing to do with that. Coffee cup. Meeting, talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated, building friendship. Yeah, because I do feel like you're gonna be feeling so good. There's like, oh, you know, we can wait on that, or you know, but like you worked hard for this specific plan. There's something that you wanted to do. If it means so much to you, keep with it. Don't let your friends, don't let the good vibes deter you from going to that event. Everything else, play it by ear. But this one event, keep to it. Stick to your original plans, or stick to what you know is like the best case scenario for that, like the best time to go, or you know, there's one plan that you want to stick with no matter what. Gold digger. Okay. They want your money being used, though. Be careful of your friends, like, or people that you're going with, your partner or your family, or even if you're going by yourself, like people around you. It's like, be careful that they're not doing it so it saves them money and not you, or that like they're getting you to spend money. Like this could be vendors that are trying to get you to spend more money or to put on that extra rental car insurance or whatever it is. I feel like watch out for people trying to get you to spend more money than you planned, allocated, or would like to. Don't cover for other people if it's not, you know, your responsibility, and don't let people push you in spending more of your money and when it saves them money. You know what I'm saying? Just like look out for yourself in that sense. It's not going to be like big energy, but like, you know, there is energy of like, you know how much you came in with, like how much you want to spend, what you kind of wanted to do, and don't let people kind of take advantage of that. Okay, just saying. It's not a big energy. It's just a heads up from spirit. Summer. So this might be a summer trip, or that you might be taking. You might be going somewhere warm. That's your sign that this is your pile. Knight of Gems, abundance, yeah. With the 8 of Pentacles and then the 9 of Pentacles, like, if you play this off right, you're going to come out of this trip with more money than you came in with. So I do feel like if you're planning to, like, if there's some stuff that you want to buy, if there's some, if you're going to, like, the casino or something, I feel like there's something like you're coming out of this trip with more than you left with. I think some of the items that you're like big ticket items that you're like, I don't know if I should get this or not. I feel like this is your sign. Like, yeah, get that item. I mean, you use your own intuition, but like, I feel like there's like at least a few ticket items that you won't be able to find again, or that's like very special and rare, or probably cost more than what the price is listed as, or it probably can raise in value or something. Like there's a few items, like 2 or 3, that you look at and you're like, you know, like this is something that is an investment, or something that's going to be worth more money, or something that I'm going to use a lot, or something that I'm going to really adore. So there's a few items that like might actually make you money or that add value to your life in more ways that you can imagine when you're come across that item. There's like a few items that you come across and you're like, oh, that really resonates with me. And you know how you're on vacation and you're like, I don't know if I'm just feeling good and I'm spending money because I'm feeling good. No, there's a few items you specifically pile for that you will come across that will be actually very valuable to you. So like, I feel like you're kind of like making sure you don't spend too much money crazy, and you're like, I don't know if this is something I actually want, or if I'm just feeling good vibes from the vacation. No, there's actually a few items that like are actually going to be something that you really want, that's worth purchasing. Okay, and then 2 of the High Priestess, intuition. Yeah, use your intuition. But there are a few items that you're just like, and I feel like that you come across actually more than a few. 3, 6, 9, 12, like that you come across quite a few items that you're like, I don't know if I'm just going crazy with shopping. Like, am I like having like a shopping spree? Am I just going crazy? Am I like, are these things actually things I want? Like, 'cause I feel like you do have the experience of like buying things that like you regret later. It's like, I don't know if I really actually needed this. You know, I think I was just kind of in a spending spree. But there are some items that you come across that you want to get. I think some of your friends or someone with you, a partner, family member, a friend might actually tell you like, hey, you're spending so much money, or you know, do you want to keep your wallet shut a little bit? But there are some items that you come across that, and a lot actually, that actually you would really like, use a lot for a long time, or really love for a long time, or increase in value. So pile 4, if this is the permission you needed to actually shop and not feel guilty and rest and feel into the moment, this is your sign. There is one event that you worked hard on planning or figuring out that you don't want to skip on. Don't make anyone skip it, change it, or anything. Besides that, go with the flow, and don't let anyone spend money. Don't, like, if you're splitting some with someone, make sure it's split fairly. Make sure they don't forget. Make sure they're not making it more convenient for them than it is for you. Make sure it helps you out too, or it's neutral. And then if you're going on a shopping spree and you're like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm crazy spending like crazy, I've done this before, I don't know if it's just I'm on like a vacation high. Spirit is saying use your intuition, but there are some items that you will not regret getting. Alright, pile 4, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I really appreciate like a comment. You can continue to pile 4 part 3 or another pile part 3 to see what may happen after the trip. See you there. Okay, pile number 1 for part 3, which is what may happen after the trip. Let's look at what may happen after the trip. You hold the key to an awakened life, and it's in reverse. Set yourself free. So I do feel like you already start setting yourself free during the trip. You kind of like start changing your perspective for like people that don't meet your energy, situations that don't meet your energy, and like what you're already like done with and don't want to repeat the cycle of, and ready to move on to the next chapter. So I feel like that kind of already starts happening during the trip, where you're like, okay, I'm ready to kind of move on to the next thing, the next chapter in my life. And you know, it continues after the trip, because you come back and you're like, okay, like I don't care for this anymore. I don't want to repeat this cycle. Like complete 180, a complete 360, complete change in your life is already starting. 7 of Cups. You might not know exactly how it's going to manifest just yet, but you know that everything in your life is about to change. Yeah, I do feel like it's like everything in your life is about to change. A birthday, a significant birthday holds the answer to your question. I'm getting this kind of like energy that like by your next birthday, everything is going to be completely different from now until your birthday. From after the trip until your birthday, everything is going to change. So whether that's like a few days, a few weeks, a few months, or several months, or a whole year, like from the end of this trip to your next birthday, everything in your life is going to be completely different. And so that means it's already going to start now. It's already going to start now. Let's see. The Empress. Okay, in reverse. So I'm not going to say that you're going to be pregnant, but I'm going to say that like, or your partner's going to be pregnant or something, or pregnant with an idea, pregnant with a new business idea, pregnant with a new home or whatever. It's like whatever this new big thing in your life is, it's going to change your life forever. I'm not going to say that you're going to be, that's going to happen by your birthday, but I'm going to say by your birthday, you're going to be ready for that a little bit after that. After your birthday. Wow. Okay, so let's get more information. What else is happening for you after the trip? Bliss, cherishing the day. Okay, so I feel like immediately after the trip, you might not be exactly ready. You might not be exactly in that bliss state yet, but you know everything's changing, so you can be in that bliss state. So I feel like you might have had some dreams and goals before you went on this trip, and then after you're realizing like, oh my goodness, it's actually happening. I feel like there's a huge shift that that takes place during the trip, where I'm like, even during the trip things start changing, and as you come back from the trip, you understand that everything is different. Even what you bring back with the trip is already changing your life completely. The way you see things, the way you behave, the way you want to live life, everything has to change. It's like absolutely no ifs, ands, and buts. And I do feel like you understand, like, this is the life that you wanted. So when you come back from your trip, it's like things that are changing, they're all positive changes, but they're not completely finished yet. That's going to happen, but it's going to finish by your birthday. So 10 of Wands. It does feel like you have such strong clarity on what you need to do to take this leap in your life and to change everything so completely. So that starts to happen. You're like, okay, now I know what my game plan is, and now I need to take action and make it happen. You get such strong clarity that you start to kind of, you know what to do now. And you're like, okay, my life changed, my energy shifted, and now I know what to do, what steps to take to make the physical match that, you know? Okay, so let's see. Become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. And I am getting that, like, you don't have to stress yourself out. Like Spirit's saying here, like, you don't have to stress yourself out. Let things like happen for you. Like, your energy already shifted. There's a lot to do, yes, but I feel like a lot of these things are going to come to you, or these opportunities and situations, or a lot of help, clarity are coming to you. So it's like, oh, it might seem daunting that you have to do all these things, but because you have clarity on it, and because your energy already shifted during this trip, and and I feel like whatever you did after the trip, like, continued with that energy. Spirit's like, let us do the heavy lifting this time. Six of Cups. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to be meeting the right people and opportunities in general. So the right people in general, it might be a partner, but I'm getting just the right energy match. People and opportunities. So let these opportunities come to you. I feel like just hold that energy. Just know that things are happening and watch things fall into place. It's almost magical. And I know that it's hard to believe that sometimes, but like with this energy shift, there's no denying that your life is completely different. And so after this trip, whatever happened, like, it completely changed you, completely changed your energy, your priorities, your goals, or it gave you the clarity of what you needed to do next. And now all that needs to happen is to let the universe bring in these opportunities, bring in these right situations for you. You don't have to work as hard. I feel like you're very used to kind of taking the first steps, going after your manifestations, working hard. And Spirit's like, no, you did the hard work already by changing and shifting your energy and sticking with it. Now let us do the heavy lifting for you, at least initially. You know. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You finished the part of your life, one part of your life, and now the new and even better part is beginning. So it's like, yeah, I am getting from Spirit, like, let it happen kind of thing. And we got the anchor, which is settling down, long-lasting things, steady, and yeah, let's see, like 35. Is destination, grounded, work, goals. Yeah, they're like some long-lasting, big, long-term goals are coming in. Work, if you're looking for long-term work, or your destination. So you're like, because you're completing a big cycle, or you already have, you're getting a lot of manifestations come through. And I'm getting, let me confirm. the Hermit. These are things that you've been secretly wishing for. And it's kind of funny because I do see that like you have a lot of old manifestations and new manifestations coming through. So just beware that a lot of things in your life are changing right now, and Spirit's saying like let it happen. From now until your birthday, I feel like, yeah, do what you need to do, like take care of your responsibilities, go after the opportunities and goals that like you feel are aligned with you. But I feel like let things happen too. There's so many things like Spirit's like, no, we're ready to do the heavy lifting this time. Like a lot of the things that you had to do before, even energy work and spiritual work, emotional work, you had to take the initiative, you had to pull the weight. But now you've done it, you've completed a cycle, and this new one is starting. So there's gonna be a lot of old manifestations coming through, and then a lot of new manifestations coming through. So like Spirit's like, let us do our part too now. All right, pile one, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I really appreciate like a comment. With that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. A beautiful pile two with part 3. We're looking at what may happen after the trip. So let's get started. All right, divine drunkenness. Surrender to your spiritual reverie. I definitely feel like, you know how like sometimes after a very busy trip, whether it's physically, like there's too many things packed into the day, or mentally it was just like too much that you had to unpack, there were too many things that happened on the trip or something, or before the trip that you were already thinking about on the trip. It feels like you need a vacation from your vacation. So I feel like Spirit is saying here, like, it's okay. It's okay to take a trip after your, like a staycation, vacation after your trip. Totally fine. Or just like, you know, like to kind of take it easy after your vacation. You know, a lot of people, they kind of plan it exactly right before they have to get back to work. And it's just like, okay, like if you don't take a little bit of time, even if it's just like a half a day or a day to kind of unwind from the trip, like it's kind of difficult, you know, to like just jump right back into work, or like going back to thinking about all the responsibilities you have. It's kind of ideal if you have a trip, like even if it's 3 days, make it 2 days and keep the third day for something else, you know, or half a day. If it's like a 5-day vacation, do 4 days and have the 5th day, or at least half of it, to just chill out. If it's like, you know, a 7-day vacation, take the 8th day off, like, because there's going to be stuff that happens that you're going to have to like think through, work through, or even like do laundry and stuff. And so it's just so much better to have a day of rest, or some time of rest and enjoyment. Like they're still kind of on that like high from being on vacation, and just to kind of continue that for a little bit, just to work through everything that happened and to keep in that mood, or you know, to work through anything that kind of happened when it happened. So I do feel like Spirit is saying that you are going to be enjoying some time after your trip, in order to kind of just continue the good times, kind of slowly transition back into your normal routine, or, you know, just to kind of work through what might have happened on the trip. I do feel like there's like something, like a new opportunity that comes through immediately after the trip, that gives you another reason to kind of maybe take some time to just settle into a new normal. Your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. So I do feel like maybe you realize that like you might not have been spending as much time with your kids or with your family or with your partner as you would like, and the kind of the vacation made you realize like, oh, you need some like normal days off, just like in your home and stuff, you know, or maybe someone gets pregnant on the trip, or maybe there's a new addition coming in soon, and so everyone's just kind of, maybe it's a baby moon situation, or like you're the you're the grandparent, you're kind of like, before I go back on babysitting duty, let me take some time before my grandkid comes into the world, or something like that. Like, there's something about like something new, like a new life coming in. It could be a new job opportunity. It could be, I do feel like it's one or the other. I do feel like it's career related, or like a new energy coming into your life. And I do, it's not like someone coming into the family that's like a partner or a marriage. It does feel like a child, a pet, or a career change. A new job or something like that. Something along those lines. Something that's going to take some time to take care of, you know? Apprentice of Gems. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. Efficiency. I do know that you know. You are very aware, at least by the end of this trip, that there is new responsibilities coming in soon, and take the time to have fun and relax while you can, is the energy I'm kind of getting before before your whole life changes, right? So I am getting, like, for example, if you're about to start a new job, this might be like the vacation you take before you start that new job. So it's like, might as well take that break in between to kind of reset, have fun. Or like right before you have a kid, or right before you become a grandparent, or right before you adopt this animal, this pet, or yeah, something like that. It could be like a move. It could be like before you move into the new house or something like that. Is there like a overlap in like when you have to leave the house and move into the new one or something like that? Yeah, it's something like that. It's like right before these new responsibilities start, and I think you know, at least by the end of the trip, that you might have known before the trip, but at least by the end of the trip, you know that there's this new responsibility coming in, and you want to enjoy this trip as much as you can before that. So so that after the trip, like, you're like, you know, refreshed and ready to kind of do that. Be ready for that new thing. Okay, let's see what else may happen after the trip. Wisdom. Asking questions. So whatever this new kind of endeavor is, because I feel like it comes in quickly. It's kind of a little bit unexpected, but you're ready for it. You're asking the right questions. This is something new coming to your life that you're like ready to ask questions, ready to learn, ready to take on new responsibilities, ready to master, ready to engage, ready to participate. You're so for this, right? You're excited about it. You're happy about it. And you're doing your due diligence. You're ready to ask questions and like get prepared for this like new job or new, you know, baby or child coming into the family, or new whatever it is, new home, where you have to do the research of like, where are the schools, where are the grocery stores, wherever. I feel like it's like, you know, right before you dive into this new thing, which I do feel like you're happy about and you like, and it's just kind of happened very quickly, that you're kind of taking a break before that whole responsibility and that whole like line of questioning, researching all comes in. Four of Cups. Contemplation. Yeah, so I do feel like it came out reverse. Like, I do feel like you're not worried. You're not worried. You got this. So this vacation or this trip really made you feel kind of ready for whatever's next. You took your time to think about it, you know, and I don't think you have much time to think about it, but it was enough to kind of prepare you and be like, yeah, I'm ready for this next chapter or whatever this next new responsibility is. Okay. The Return. Own your mastery. Okay, so what is happening, even though you're questioning a lot, is because you're ready for this next chapter, which you worked really hard to get to. So you're working towards getting a grandparent, working towards this new career, working towards moving to this new location, working towards this new marriage or this new child coming into your life, or new whatever it is. You've worked really hard to have this opportunity, to be ready for this next step. I think you were kind of surprised that it happened, it was happening so soon, quicker than you expected. But nonetheless, you are ready for it. I think it kind of is a little bit like jarring, because you're like, oh my gosh, like, it's happening now. Like, this is the time to take a vacation. Like, this is the time to, like, figure things out and think about it. And it's, like, short amount of time to kind of think through it, but it was enough because you're ready for it. You've mastered it. You're ready for whatever's next. I think you might have been like, oh, I was hoping this would happen, like, later this year or next year, or when this got settled down or this got finished, but it's happening now. And so you're like, but I'm ready for it. So you're ready for this, and you're ready to move forward. Knight of Swords. I feel like this is something that you've been kind of asking the universe for a very long time. And so then when it happens, you're like, oh, I didn't know it was going to happen now. But, like, you're still very happy about it. You're like, this is, I wouldn't expect anything less. This is what I wanted to happen. I'm happy. Winter. The answers to your prayers and affirmations are fully realized in the winter months. Yeah. I think you were very shocked because, this is something that you were asking for, and then it happens. And then guess what? You also have another manifestation that comes through by winter. So whenever winter is for you, expect another kind of similar manifestation to what just happened right now around that time frame as well. Yep, King of Pentacles. Okay. So the Page of Pentacles and now the King of Pentacles. Yeah. So whatever you get a glimpse of now, whatever is manifesting for you now, we're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was going to happen now, but you know what? This is what I wanted. It's now or never. This is the time. You're going to get like a bigger manifestation, or this manifestation is going to evolve in some way by the winter months. Whatever you were asking for, whatever you're ready for. I'll pull one more dragon card. Inspiration. So we got wisdom and inspiration. So I feel like whatever manifests now, it is meant to come in exactly at this time, so you can have like the bigger version of it, which I think you were also asking for or got more clarity about. Or I think while you're waiting for this manifestation to happen, you were also preparing for a even bigger version of that manifestation. And it's going to come through sooner rather than later. So this is the universe saying that, like, this manifestation, this small version of this manifestation that is coming through now, you're going to get a bigger version of it by the winter months, whenever that is for you, which is like the bigger representation of this manifestation. It's kind of like this new mastery that you've achieved that allowed this manifestation to come in. You're going to get the new manifestation, like the new version of this manifestation, the bigger one that you probably now have, because I feel like whatever's coming through is something that you've always wanted, but now you want like a bigger version of what you've always wanted, and that's going to come through sooner rather than later, sooner than you expected. So pile 2, I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, I really appreciate a comment. Super excited for you. What a really fantastic time. What a kickstart to this energy that this trip is allowing you to be in and prepare for. Yeah, I hope it's everything that you wanted and wished for. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 3. This is part 3 and what may happen after the trip. So let's get started. What might happen after the trip? Plant seeds of intention. Go, grow, glow. And the 8 of Cups. Okay, so I do feel like there's something, I feel like you already had plans before this trip to do something that's good for your growth. Continue with it after the trip. So I feel like this is something you've done before the trip and you're going to continue with it after the trip. This could be a new health routine, a new workout routine, something that you were in the middle of doing a project, like redecorating a room, or making new friends or something like that, getting to know new people, whatever it is, like whatever you're doing before the trip is going to continue after the trip. Working on this new business idea, or working on the next steps in your career, whatever it is. I feel like having a kid, moving forward in this relationship, whatever it is, I definitely feel like you were working on this before and you're ready to work on it after. In fact, you already had kind of the steps laid out of what the kind of steps would look like after. New career, yeah, and it came out in reverse. So it could be new career, but it could be like something else that you've been kind of looking at. Yeah, I do feel like you were looking for a new growth opportunity, but like that new growth opportunity was going to lead to a new career. So whatever you're looking forward to doing, whether it's like finishing this health thing, finishing your, completing your new physical look, your new wardrobe or something, or finishing up, redecorating your home, or this kind of renovation you're working on, or kind of solidifying this new relationship or these new friendships or this new group that you joined. I feel like that's something that you were working on before and something that you're going to be working on after. And I feel like the career thing was like, if I get this set in my life, then my career is going to thrive. So I do feel like you're working on something outside of your career before this trip and would plan to continue working on it after your trip. And it could be more than one thing. And you have been working on your career as well, but you knew that like once you get this thing outside of career settled, that the career is going to just take off naturally on its own. Wow, the World card. So I do feel like the new career came in reverse. The World card here. Okay, so whatever this is, it's going to change your entire world. So whatever you were working on, it's kind of like, you know how sometimes if you work on something, like if you work on a relationship with one person, it will help the relationship with another person. Say that you want to work it out with your current partner, right? Your romantic partner. And, things are kind of not going well with like a sibling or a parent or another friend. And you putting in the work to work on the relationship with that other person also ends up helping your romantic relationship, which is the thing that you actually want to fix. So that's how I feel like with this career thing. I feel like whatever you're working on before this trip and you plan to continue working on after this trip is you putting in the work that is also going to help your career. It's like an underlying thing that's also going to be helping your career. And I think you know that. Yeah, it feels like if you work this out, then the career thing will work out. I feel like you kind of see that it's like connected somehow. All right, so what else may happen after the trip? Transcendence, achieving success. So I do feel like you will be successful. So in both endeavors, the thing that you were working on already, or the many things that you're working on already, and the new things that the new career thing that you're going to be working on. 8 of Wands, action. I think a lot of things are going to be kind of lining up for you. Because I feel like you already planted the seeds of intention like a long time ago. And I feel like you've been kind of working on it. And I feel like this trip was kind of when you finished all the work that you needed to do. And kind of like a reset for like before you go into what's next. So yeah, like even if like for example you were working on your health before this trip, and then after you come back from this trip, you're gonna like continue working on that health regimen or workout regimen or whatever. But it's gonna be different because you now have this reset from this trip. So it's like you're coming into it like continuing this health regimen in the new cycle. You're bringing it from the old cycle to the new cycle. And then with this new cycle, a lot of things start coming to you automatically. Patience, please. Yeah. What you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. Yeah. So it's like you need to continue with whatever you're working on before this trip that you plan to work on after this trip. It could be more than one thing. It could be health. It could be finishing up that project, the design project, whatever you're working on, or that self-help thing, whatever. Just continue doing those things, and then you're going to realize that you're already in the new cycle. The trip was a reset, and the things are going to kind of start unfolding for you. Wow. Master of Raindrops. So this is the King of Cups, and it's emotional maturity. You know how to manifest now. You think differently. You're in a new cycle, and you know that if you work on other things energetically, they're going to manifest in the other things that you want. So it's like sometimes the energetic work, the inner work that is required for a certain thing is not so obvious, and it's not so specific to that project or that goal. It might be something else in your life that you need to kind of work through, finish up. And for you, Pile 3, this is stuff that you've started working on before this trip. This trip was definitely a reset. And so you're entering this new cycle after this trip. And so you have to continue doing the good things that you wanted to bring into this new cycle. And that's going to help bring in your new goals, your new bigger manifestations faster. This new career faster. Okay. I didn't pull this card. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. Yeah. So right now, whatever you've been doing, keep doing that, because you're bringing it into the new cycle. All the good new habits, all the good new hobbies, all the good new intentions and work that you've been doing, bring it into the new cycle, and then you're going to see that your career just kind of magically unfolds. 10 of Lightning, 10 of Wands, and then when 10 of Wands comes out in reverse, it kind of is like you're getting a lot of downloads. So there's a lot of downloads before, during, and after this trip. And it's going to continue after this trip. So just let things unfold, but please keep doing the things that you started doing right before this trip as well. And lastly, Destruction, releasing your anger. And the Queen of Wands. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely getting the spiritual practices. So like forget about what is happening in your career, what's not happening in your career. Forget about what's happening with your relationships and not happening with your relationships. Forget about what's happening with the goals that you've had and the new goals that you have. Just keep doing those things. All those new practices that you started, that you want to bring into the new cycle, that you're like, hey, I'm so excited that I started this before the trip. Now I'm going to go on this trip, and then I'm going to continue feeling awesome doing these new activities, or these continued activities that are helping you, that you want to bring into your new cycle. Continue doing those, and that new cycle will start bringing in things magically for your especially your new career. So just keep doing those self-love, self-care routines, the new activities, exciting new creative projects that you have, the things that you were working on anyway or finishing up before the trip. Continue doing that, and that's bringing in the new energy of the new cycle and the new manifestations. All right, Pile 3, so I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, I really appreciate a like and comment. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful Pile 4. This is part 3. We're looking at what may happen after the trip. So let's get right into it. What may happen after the trip? What would your higher self do? You are Divinity and Blue Jeans. All right. And Strength card. Okay. So I do feel like there's something that happens after the trip where you have to kind of decide like what direction you're going to go into next. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. And so like Spirit here is saying like, you know, there's 2 pathways or more opening up for you after this trip. It's up to you what path you want to go on. And I definitely think there's an opportunity to move in a new direction or repeat the cycle. So I feel like this trip is like kind of like it signifies the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And it's up to you whether you want to repeat the cycle or if you want to start a new cycle. And so Spirit is saying here, like, you know, this is what you wanted, this is your opportunity, but you know, you have free will. And it's up to you. But if you want this new life, you're going to have to choose that new path, and you're going to have to see life differently and treat it differently than you did before this trip. I think a lot of you might have not been prepared for this new pathway opening up. I think you wanted it, but I don't know if you were necessarily thinking it would happen immediately after this trip or during this trip or right before this trip or something. Like around this, like, you know, this trip was the signifier. It was an indicator of, like, you know, if you're going to repeat the cycle or start a new cycle. And I think you wanted the new cycle, but it's just like you didn't know it was going to happen this soon, right? Or something like that. Express your individuality. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. Yeah, there's this energy of... This kind of came up in one of the piles where it's just like... It's... If you've been hiding your light, if you've been kind of ready to kind of start this new chapter as this new version of yourself that you've worked on, and you're kind of like this kind of trip like kickstarted it for you, and you kind of like jumping off on the deep end, it's kind of up to you. Like, do you want to swim back to the shallow end, or do you want to dive head in to this new life as this new version of yourself? I think it was a real, like, kind of, you know how when sometimes you get a test to see, are you going to continue being the old version of yourself, or are you going to step up and be that new version? I feel like this is that kind of test. Like, this is your chance to prove to yourself that you are this new version of yourself. You already said go. Like, it's happening now. Like, 3, 2, 1, start. Like, and I think you're kind of surprised. You're like, oh, I thought I was going to gradually go into that, but Spirit doesn't play games. If you want to start a new chapter, if you want to start a new cycle, show it to me now. The universe, like, show it to us now. Show it to yourself that you're ready to be a new person in this new cycle. Okay. 3 of Swords in reverse. Yeah. I think you've been kind of it feels like you've been through like a hard time. You've been going through a hard time before this trip, and you've been kind of working through that. I feel like a significant healing cycle, identity cycle, like finding yourself, finding your purpose, healing some stuff. That kind of significant journey has ended, and you're so used to kind of just healing or getting used to not having to heal all the time or something like that, and then like this trip comes along or this special occasion or whatever, and you're jettisoned into this new life, and it's kind of jarring. Just because your energy is there doesn't mean the rest of the physical world has caught up yet, but you know it's like not too far behind. So I can definitely see that, like, you're a little bit still tired, exhausted, wary, even before this trip, even during and after this trip, but whatever you kind of been catapulted into, it's kind of like necessary if you want this new cycle to go in a different direction. The universe is like, you know, like, be in the energy and then we'll bring the things to you. Otherwise, you're just going to repeat the cycle. Alright, so let's see what else may happen after this trip or event or special occasion. Okay, flip it upside down. And it's funny because the card came out in reverse. Question your beliefs. Yeah. I do feel like whatever this change, this huge shift that happens within you, that occurs around this time, really makes you question, like, hey, because, like, are you ready for this? Did you actually want this, or were you just saying it? Are you ready to step up? Are you gonna take the next steps? You know, it's like, are you actually gonna talk the talk and walk the walk, or were you just talking? You know, Like, are you gonna let your actions align with what you actually want, what you've been actually wishing for? This is your chance, this is an opportunity from the universe to show that you're in that new energy and that you are gonna align your actions in new ways to reflect that new version of yourself, or that version of yourself that really shines your light completely and fully. Alright, so let's see. Two of Pentacles, yeah, I do get this. This is like, I'm getting like a marriage with the universe kind of thing. Like, this is like a marriage with your higher self. Like, this is an opportunity for your higher self to integrate more with you. You know, every so often, and people who've been on a spiritual journey understand this, like, there's times where you integrate more of your higher aspect within yourself, within your spirit, your soul, and your body. And this is one of those times. So it's definitely kind of a moment where you can kind of see that you're being given an opportunity, a hand up, to step up, to be better, to be more, to take on more, to expand, right? And it's up to you. You don't have to, you know, you probably have, if you're watching this reading, you probably have said yes many times and said no many times, repeated cycles if you wanted to wait, stepped up and been disciplined and very, very focused and taken aligned actions when you said yes, when you are ready to take the next step. You know, timing, like, it's divine timing. It happens when it's meant to. And for you, it's going to feel like, oh, I wish it was a little bit later, or I wish this was a little bit before. No, it's now. And it's your decision. And you can take it or you can leave it. And that's up to you. But don't complain if you're repeating the cycle and you're feeling like, oh, I'm always in the same cycle. This is the opportunity to upgrade and integrate in a very massive way. Let's see. Business venture. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. So what comes hand in hand with this energy shift and this new chapter, if you so choose it, if you pick the red pill, you know, sort of say, is a new career opportunity. So these things that happen, this also came up on a different pile, but two different piles, this energy. When you often choose to upgrade your life in a significant way like this, you'll see it reflected in other major energies in your life. For example, your career, your job, your business, whatever. Death, yeah. Because you're accepting the death of the old and the birth of the new. And it's going to be a stark difference. Like, it's going to be very like black and white. It's going to be very noticeable, to the point where, like, you might have left your job right before this trip, or you might leave your job during or after this trip, most likely after. So there's that kind of shift. Like, you might change careers, you might change jobs, or you might, you know, go in a different direction with your business or start a new business. Like, you might have been already starting it before, and some of you are going to be starting it after. But that's that's how significant this trip is for you, pile 4. Let's see. Dragon. Healing in reverse. Restoring hope. And it came out in reverse, like the 3 of Swords came out in reverse. So you're done with your healing, the major healing that you needed to do in order to step into this new version of yourself, this new cycle where you can shine so brightly. Because that light has been kind of veiled until you've kind of finished the healing. And now that you finished the healing, your light is shining brighter and brighter. You're being unveiled. You're aligning to reality and as this new version of yourself. And therefore, everything in your life is going to look and feel completely different. And there's going to be new opportunities. Things are going to shift in massive, massive ways. And so you're going to see that come through. This is a timeless reading, but when I'm recording this, it's a 9-year. So there's a lot of endings and changes happening for a lot of folks and in the world. So you can also see, I'm getting that, like, there's also going to be some mass changes in your environment, maybe possibly world, that's going to also affect the kind of direction you go in, the next direction you go in your career and with your work. So look out for that. That's why it's like all divine timing. It's like, oh, this is happening now. The shift within yourself and the shift within your environment and the world is all happening now. That's going to align you to this new venture. You can say no, you can repeat the cycle, and this will happen. You'll go into this and then next cycle. But I feel like a lot of you know, like you're ready, you're prepared, you're prepared for this. The Star card, yeah. This is your dreams coming true. And, you know, it's hard because some people do end up saying no to their dreams, even though they know like this is what they've always wanted. Just because they think they trick themselves into thinking they're not ready for it. And some people just want some time before moving into the next thing. But I feel like a lot of you is just getting over that fear of like, am I ready? I don't know anything. Will I have to start from zero? Or will this succeed? Will things actually change? Like what will happen if I go with this new version of myself? And you know, there's no big rewards without big risk. You know, like this is a huge payoff, and it comes with this risk. And the only reason it works is because you've taken so many risks before, denoted by your healing journey. That probably means that you've actively been doing things to heal on your spiritual journey, spiritual practices, self-love, self-help practices, self-care practices, that you've made decisions, that you took risks, that you cleared out people, places, things in your life, and actively worked on different things and added new things. You've taken the risk, those decisions or risks, in order to move down this path, and this is your risk paying off. This is the culmination of all the little risks that you've taken, little, medium, big-sized risks, into this next chapter, and this is no small matter. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with one more dragon card. Resources. So you are going to be getting physical resources to help you with your new business venture or your new career change. Five of Cups. Yeah, it might have been feeling like before, when you're still going through your healing process, that like you were ready to take these risks, that you wanted to do these projects, but you didn't have the resources, and you were asking the universe like, I'm ready to do this, why is it not happening? It's because you're finishing your healing journey, but Spirit is now saying that you finished that, ready to shine your light very brightly. You're ready to take on this new soul mission, new project, new career move, new business venture, whatever it is. And this time around, you're not going to be left hanging. You're going to get the resources, and it seems like too good to be true. Haven't you heard this before? But if this is your pile, it'll resonate with you that you've already taken big leaps, risks, and changes in your career just before this trip. A little bit before this trip. And you're prepared to do more or take more risks or move forward with that. Like it's like you chose, like you're like, hey, I'm on this path already, might as well continue with it, with whatever you're working on in terms of your career, passion projects, soul mission, or business venture. So that's how you know this is your pile. Alright, pile 4. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really appreciate a comment, and with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light.